Wow. I've really got, feel quite emotional. It's a bit weird. Got all the hairs standing up on the back of my neck. A tears just come to my eyes. Not because I look at that and think, boy, I'm brilliant, I'm amazing. It's not that at all. I'm just me, actually. But maybe it's because I'm in front of you. And I was a fitness instructor, so a personal trainer. And maybe I just feel a connection whenever I meet people like you, because we really do make a difference, right? Put your hand up if you make a difference. Okay, you didn't put your hand up. You don't make a difference? Okay, just stop breathing and you'll make a difference. Because we'll all start focusing on you. So what do I want to share with you? Listen, I really don't want this just to be a presentation where you go, woo, yeah, brilliant, and then go home and do exactly what you were doing before, because that's what most people will do. Let's face facts, right? The easiest thing any of you can do is just leave here and go back and doing exactly what you were doing before. It's going to be really, really easy. It's not going to take much effort, right? Am I right? Just say, yeah, you're right. Thank you very much. Okay, good night. No, hands up. How many of you share a bed with someone? Just put your hand up. Put your hand up. Okay, so who's up for an experiment? Put your hand up. Okay, brilliant. I love you guys because you don't even know what the experiment is. So this is what's going to happen. I know some of you, or tomorrow, it doesn't matter when it is, but this is what you're going to do. And I'm going to give you my email address, and you're going to email me, and you're going to tell me what happened. You're going to go home, and just before your partner goes to bed, you're going to get into bed before them, but get in their side of the bed and close your eyes. Okay? And now, I know all of you, because I know all of you have got a few things. I know one thing that you all have is an imagination, right? I know that. And in your mind now, I want you to imagine what is going to happen. What are you going to hear? What are you doing? What else? Move over? Are you mad? This is what you'll probably hear. What are you doing? Not in an English accent. That would be quite weird. You maybe go, hey, what are you doing, man? That's my stuff, man. All my stuff's on that side. This is my side. And you'll see there's complete resistance to change. If you can all can you all do this for me? Just do this. It's probably one of the only things I'm going to ask you to do. How's that feel? Fine. That's an English word. Fine. Nice. Put them cross them around the other way. That's wrong. That's actually bad. Go back the other way. Put your hands together, one thumb on top of the other thumb. How's that feel? Fine. Normal. Go the other way. That's wrong, man. Go back the other way. This is me. This is who I am. Okay? I'm not changing. So my field of expertise, but actually I shouldn't call myself an expert, because you shouldn't believe what experts say, and that's one of the things we all need to do in the world, is challenge what experts said. Because I have a degree, I have 3 degrees, and I'm not talking about the group, the 3 degrees. I left school with nothing. School to me was a complete waste of time. Did anyone learn a language in school? So yeah, I learned French, right, for 5 years. And all I can say is, combien de poissons y a-t-il dans la famille? That means, how many fish are there in your family? I mean, you don't go to France and say, combien de poissons? You just don't say that. Poisson sounds like person. I'm dyslexic. K-O? Sorry, okay. I was diagnosed with severe dyslexia. I was diagnosed with attention deficit disorder. I was messed up before I was 5. I was just labeled. I thought, shit, I thought there was something wrong with me, right? I thought there was something wrong with me, and I thought there's something wrong with me for years. And now I know there is something wrong with me. I'm a human being. Have you not seen? How many of you have already thought inside your head, that guy has a massive nose? Put your hand up. Put your hand up. Yes, yes, yes. Thank you. And now, some of you are going, yeah, it is quite big, isn't it? And you know what they say the first sign of madness is? First sign of madness. What is it? First sign of madness is having hairs on the palm of your hands. That's the first sign. That's the second sign, looking. Okay? The third sign is having hair. And the fourth sign is talking to yourself. So if the fourth sign of madness was talking to yourself, how many of you in here right now are completely, what we would say in England, bonkers, mad? Right? You're a liar. Put your hand up. Okay? But how many of you are not even bonkers, you're schizophrenic? Because schizophrenia is 2 voices in your head. You know that voice that goes, oh, I don't know. I really should, that grow social. I know I should look at it, but I don't really have the skills. I don't know. You do. Oh, God, yes, no. Oh, God, no. Yes. Oh, God, no. I should exercise. No, I shouldn't. Oh, God, yes, no. Exercise. Do the washing up. No, do the... Shut up. Shut up. Shut up. It's rubbish. Most of what we say to ourselves is complete rubbish. If you want to change the world, change what goes on inside your head. But the reason you won't is because you can't be bothered. Why? Because you're lazy. Not you. I don't know you. I mean everyone else. You guys are different, right? You guys are going to leave here. You're going to kick it out of the park. You are going to leave here and you're going to do some stuff. You're going to take your business to the next level. Are you not? Yeah. Are you sure about that? Because should I put money on you? Yeah. Because I want there to be a legacy from Mega Training. I come from England. I grew up watching America, loving America. I wanted to be America. I watched the A-Team. I watched Knight Rider. All I wanted to eat was watch McDonald's, Starsky and Hutch, the Blues Brothers, Airplane. We've got to get these people to a hospital. What is it? It's a tall building with lots of people inside, but that's not important right now. I'll never forget that line in Airplane where there's this little boy, and he goes up to this girl. She's about 8. And he says, do you want a coffee? And she goes, yes. And he goes, how do you want it? And she goes, black, like my men. And she's 8. And I'm watching this, and I'm about 10, and I'm thinking, this is ridiculous. This is not how I've been brought up to think, and because I was brought up to think and act like everyone else, and thinking and acting like everyone else is just boring. It's just so easy to be like a sheep. Those of you that heard Billy Beck talk before, when he talks about, are you a lion or a lamb? Most of us are lambs. Why? Because everyone else is, and it's easy. Being a lamb is easy, isn't it? You have to do anything, just complain, moan, talk to yourself. Anyway, so I want to inspire you. I want there to be a legacy. I want one of you to come up to me next year and smack me in the face really hard. Okay? Who's up for that? Good. Yeah, but there has to be a reason, right? You can't just come up and smack me in the face. I want you to come up and smack me in the face and say, you know what? From what you said and what I did at Mega Training last year, it really gave me a kick up the bottom, or backside, or fanny, as you call it. We call fanny something else, but we won't go into that. So let's move. How does this move forward? So this is me. I can't believe that, I just look at myself and think I'm just a normal person. And when I had a wonderful evening with Sean and with a few guys. We sat around a table, and Joe was there, right? And I'm listening to Joe telling his story, and I'm thinking, wow, my story's nothing compared to your story, because that guy is unreal, right? I'm going to go and he's asked me to go and spend a weekend with him, so you can bet I'm going to be doing that, because you need to rub shoulders with people who have done what you want to do. You need to rub shoulders with people who inspire you. You need to get away from the people that are toxic, people that, I'm not saying leave your wife, okay, I'm not saying that, but you just need to be careful. You need to be careful of who you surround yourself with, and you need to be careful of what you think, because thinking can be stinking thinking, right? And you know how many thoughts it's estimated that they say? By the way, has anyone ever said this to you? Do you know what they say? And you believe what they say, even though you don't know who they are. So one of the legacies we can have from today is the next time someone says to you, do you know what they say? You go, who are they? Because it's great to question things. I thought for years that the food pyramid was the way to eat. Eat lots of carbs, don't eat fat. And then when I did my own research and found out, well, who designed that? And it was the Department of Agriculture in America. What do they want? They want you to eat grains. When really we know now that there's no evidence at all that proves that saturated fat is related to heart disease. Can you believe that? And how many of us were brought up and told that that was the truth? When was the last time you heard of a lion having a heart attack? What do they eat? Meat. No, but we should be vegetarian. Who said? We're not all the same. We're not all the same. And you know what the world needs? It needs you and me to look at things from other people's perspectives, right? Because I'm right and you're wrong, and that's the way it is. How many of you were brought up like that? I'm right and you're wrong. That's just it. Some of us weren't even brought up with that. I'm right. That's it. But when you take a moment to realize my right is actually your left. So you have a different way of looking at the world. And if I could look at the world through your eyes and you could look at it through mine, there'd be a lot less problems in the world, right? But those of you that have ever been to the Far East, they have 7 different ways of looking at things. What? 7? Physical perspectives. Front, back, left, right, up, down, and you. So when you come to MP, it's a really good idea to look at things from a number of different perspectives before you decide what's the right way for you to go. Because I don't know about you. I'm Jewish, right? Or I should say Jewish. Why? Well, I went to a Catholic school for a start, so I can tell you I know how to feel guilty. Because Jews are brilliant at that. But Catholics, they're even better. You know what I'm talking about if you're a Catholic. In fact, I knew a Catholic for her first confession. She had nothing to confess. So guess what she did? She made something up that never happened. Do you know how guilty she felt for doing that? Do you know how guilty she felt for months to her next confession? And guess what she confessed at her next confession? She confessed to the fact that she confessed to something which never happened. So when you're a Jew that goes to a Catholic school, you learn, if you're a Jew, you look at the Old Testament. If you're a Catholic, you look at the New. And I looked at both of these, you know, quite good books. There's some good stories in there. And I'll never forget when a friend of mine said to me, he goes, Pete, you're like Jesus Christ. I went, what do you mean? He goes, well, I know I'm related to him, you know, because he was Jewish, right? But he was probably a bit like me. He was Jewish. Because I don't know if you know this, but there are 612 laws in the Jewish religion, right? So if you're a full-on Jew, it's pretty tough, right? If you're going to live your life that way, and I've lived around a lot of these people that live by those 612 laws. Now, I don't know about you, because my interpretation of the story is Jesus went, hey, man, this is too much for me. I can't take this. I'm off. He goes to the desert. He finds himself. But you know, some people go to India to find themselves. I didn't mean to look at you when I said that, but you were the first person I look at. You actually have Indian blood. But what did they do in India? Here I am. I found myself. Where have I been? But I mean, you don't have to go to India to find yourself. Just look in the mirror and go, hi, how are you? But we don't do that. What do we do when you look in the mirror? Especially ladies. When was the last time a lady looked in the mirror and went, look at you. You're beautiful. You wait till I get you home. The things I'm going to do to you. We don't do that. We live in a world that basically says you're rubbish. Sorry. But you can feel good, but just for a moment, when you eat some Haagen-Dazs ice cream, or Ben & Jerry's, or you buy an iPod, you can feel, or some shoes. I love going around to women's houses and just seeing all the shoes they've got. I look at them and go, what the hell is this? Do all of those shoes make you happy? Yeah. Did you hear that? That lady's yes. If they made her really happy, all of those shoes would be with her right now. They're not. Human beings are. Let's play a quick game. Okay, a quick game. I wish I had all day to spend with you guys, but I don't, so let's get on with things, right? So let's play a quick game. Give me generalizations about Canadians. Oh, in her head she's going, oh God, I can't say that. I don't want to offend anyone. Give me a generalization about Canadians. What?
They like the cold.
They like the cold? Yep. Overly play. Over polite, yes. What other generalizations about the Canadians? What? They drink a lot of beer. I know Canadians say, well, I'm French Canadian, I'm Dutch Canadian, I'm German Canadian. You don't get Americans saying that. They're just American. Woo! I was in San Francisco giving a workshop. I come to the end of the presentation and I say, come on, everyone, let's go for it. And I don't mean let's go anywhere in particular. And these guys jump up and go, yeah! Where? Where are we going? In an American accent, and I'm going, shit. That doesn't happen in England. If I said that to a group of English people, they'd go, oh no. No, I'm not going anywhere. I'm going to resist everything that you say and do, because I'm British. We love in Britain, we love complaining, we love talking about the weather, we love work, we love going, oh, I don't know, I could, I might, I should be. Now, you guys in America and in Canada, listen, I know my field of interest, I almost said expertise, is human behavior. And I can tell you from speaking to so many of you, you start off with great intentions, but you get distracted. You start things, you get distracted. And that's one of your biggest enemies. And one of my big challenges to all of you, you'll leave here, you'll be fired up, you'll be enthusiastic, you'll be raring to go, and stuff will happen, you'll get distracted. Who's up for a challenge that can come up to me next year, smack me in the face really hard, or slap me, it's up to you, or knee me in the thing, and say, Pete, you know what? That made a massive difference. Because every time I became aware that I was getting distracted, I remembered what you said. I shut the duck up. Because we've all got a duck in our head, right? How many of you've got two? I mean, let's face it. How many of you are really listening to what I'm saying? Because I know most of you aren't. It's okay. You don't have to. You're talking to yourself. So it's estimated, so they say. Thank you. There's one person who's catching on. that we have somewhere between 12,000 and 60,000 thoughts in one day. Okay? That's a lot of thoughts. I don't know how they work that out. Was someone standing next to someone going, yeah. Oh, God, I've forgotten. How many was that? Oh, I'll start again. 24 hours. Oh, it's 60,000. Oh, that's good. Well done. But if we could all look at each other's thoughts, imagine if everyone's thoughts were written down in a book. You could come up here, you could look at the book that someone had all their thoughts in, and you could read someone's thoughts. The first thing you'd notice straight away, well, pretty quickly, is whether that person is a man or a woman. That's one of the first things that you would notice. What else would you notice? What emotions would you see that most of us experience on a daily basis? What common emotions? Come on, guys. Let's. What? Fear. What else? Ignorance, did someone say? Someone say ignorance. Anger. Yeah. What else? Doubt. Yeah. Lack of. Oh, yeah. What do you mean? Self-confidence or stress, worry, anxiety. You might see a bit of happiness. You might see a bit of laughter. But that's what's often in your clients, right? Your clients often feel that way. And one of the things that we need to do as health and fitness professionals is help people to change the way that they feel. Don't you think? So my field of expertise, even though I don't want to call myself an expert anymore, I help people get results. I have been fascinated with human behavior and what it takes for people to win. So you probably don't know any of these people that you're looking at. That man there, that man is Carl Hooper, who used to play cricket for the West Indies, man. You know what I'm saying? Respect. Now, why do I know that? Because I grew up playing cricket. I grew up around a lot of West Indians. West Indians came to England in the 1950s to do the jobs which people didn't want to do. They thought thinking they were coming because the roads were paved with gold. But they weren't. They ended up having to clean the streets and do the jobs which people didn't want to do. And this is one area that many black people who have found a way to create a better life is through sport. I admire anyone that works at what they do to be the best that they can be, regardless of what color or background. My great-granddad came from Eastern Europe in 1890. He was 9 years old, on his own, right? Comes over, realizes there's lots of opportunity, goes back, gets the family. They come over to the East End of London with nothing. Make a lot of money, because they're Jews, good at making money. That's not a joke. I mean, our commodity has always been money because we're a wandering tribe. So anyway, that's not important. But I want you to think about this. What about your forefathers? See, the difference between you and your forefathers is your forefathers wouldn't waste their time going, oh, I don't know if I could do that. Oh, I might make a mistake. Because everything was about surviving. Everything was about creating a better life for the next generation, wasn't it? Wasn't it? Yes or no? Right? So what you guys have got to recognize is that you got a problem. You got a big problem. It's called you. And if you don't change the way you relate to yourself, life is difficult. Life is difficult enough as it is, right? Isn't it? Life's wonderful, don't get me wrong. It's amazing we've got this opportunity to live, but it ain't easy. Yet most of us are victimizing ourselves. So if I was looking at that book, I'd probably laugh and go, look, hey, by the way, do you think I look a little bit too jazzy? What do you think? I'm going to a wedding afterwards, so. So let's move on, because I know I'm jumping around the place. I've helped thousands of people lose weight by helping them change the way that they think. I've helped people win world titles by changing the way that they think. I've worked with companies all over the world this is always a challenge when you work with companies, because most companies rule by the iron fist, and they don't want people to really become free thinkers. So working with organizations can be quite challenging, right? Because they're kind of set in their ways, and they don't want people to really be better. They just want everyone to do what they normally do. I've written 14 books, but don't read any of them because they've been written by a dyslexic, so they don't actually make any sense. So if you were going to give, let's get into the heart of the presentation, right? If you come up to this platform and in front of you here is the whole world, okay? The whole world is on television and you've got an audience, and you can only say one thing. You're going to give the world some advice for people to have a better life. What would you say? Don't tell me just yet. Brian, be quiet. Okay? He's Canadian, by the way. But what was so interesting was talking to him, because this guy's got a serious... I don't know why I'm talking into this microphone. I don't actually need to. It just feels quite good, so I'll carry on doing it. So I'm talking to Brian, and I'm just like blown away by this guy, right? Because he's he's worked really hard. He's done some great things. I get curious as to where he's from, and he's from Ghana. And when I became a fitness instructor in 1989, the first health club I worked at was the biggest gym in Europe. And the guys downstairs that were cleaning the toilets and cleaning the towels, they were all from Ghana. And the most grounded people I've ever met, really rooted. You know, when you're looking at them, you kind of feel like, this guy's really listening to me. This guy really cares for me. And I go upstairs into the gym, and it's like, this was in the 90s, man. This was in the city of London. A lot of my clients, I just said, what's that white stuff under your nose? I mean, these guys were just working non-stop, non-stop, keep going. That's when mobile phones came. It was like, trying to have a conversation with them, it was like, hey, I'm here. But we all need people around us that we can rub shoulders with. We all need people that can help us to keep it real. I love that expression, right? To keep it real, for you to be real. Because when you're talking rubbish to yourself, when you're giving yourself a hard time, that's not you, is it? You didn't come out of the womb and go, oh, God, I don't know if I'm good enough. Oh, my bum's big. You didn't come up and, see, this is what happened, right? I'll get my wallet out. Let me have a look. I was going to show you some English money, okay? This is a $100 bill. Who wants it? Good. See, if I'd done that in England, most people would go, oh, dude, I don't know about that. There must be a catch, because we're very mistrusting. But okay, so I'd say, you wanted it, right? Did you still want it? Yep, you still want it? You sure? Okay, it's still there, it's still the same thing. What about now? Look at this guy, I love this guy. Go away. Run away. But that's a really good point, actually. You know what? In life, you have to be careful what you say, because that's a great thing, and I challenge all of you to leave here, and when you say something, do it. Be a man of your word, because there are many things that your dad and your mum have told you that are important. But most of us have forgotten those things. Be a man of your word. Begin with the end in mind. So you still want it. How about now? Do you still want it? Yes! I would love to work with you guys. I didn't really spit in it, but this is what's happened to us. Right? We are all screwed up. Why? Because we grew up. It's not anyone's fault. It's just a fact. And I know many of you are here because you're trying to unscrew yourself, right? Because whatever happened to you, you're still here, right? You're still here. You've made it. And I think that's amazing. I think it's amazing that you're here and you're doing mega training. I think it's incredible because most fitness professionals, they can't be asked. They thought about coming here. They thought, why do I need that? I've seen what MPE has done. I've seen it probably clearer than any of you. Why? Because I was a member of a gym, and there was this guy called Ben Davis who was a fitness instructor, and I'm much older than him, and I'm clever, I know everything, because I've got a big ego, and he's showing me how to use the gym. I'm going, listen, mate, I don't need you to show me, but he has to, because it's the law. Anyway, we become friends, and it doesn't take very long until we start hanging out, we make love, and it's beautiful. No, we didn't. But I was definitely not the one. No, anyway. So we became friends, and see, you've all got an imagination, right? Those of you that know Ben Davis are starting to picture things. So you have to be careful what you think about, because most of us think rubbish. But it's okay. It's okay. I do have a big nose. I've also got really big feet, size 12. Actually, size 13, because I don't know why, in England it's different. But you know what they say. I've also got ear hair. I've got nose hair. I've got a hairy back. I'm not perfect. I know some of you are looking and going, yeah, he's all right. Right? But I'm not perfect. Physically, I'm not perfect. So you bet. Physically, I'm not perfect. I'm not going to be perfect in here. I'm going to be messed up. I'm going to have worries, doubts, insecurities. That's what makes us human. But what makes us inhumane isn't what we do to the world. That's inhumane, but it's what we do to ourselves. We've got to stop that stuff. You don't have to. But if you want other people to do that, you want to attract better people into your life, you've got to change that, because we attract how we are. Do you not think that? I mean, this isn't like rocket science. So no matter what's happened to you in your life, your self-worth is still there. And I'm going to show you today something so radical, so amazing that you won't do it. You won't do it. You know why? Because you don't want to. I'm going to say something now, which is, I think it's so profound that, again, you won't do it. In fact, I'll say it in 1 second. Has anyone ever read the book, The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People by Stephen Covey, right? It's a great book. I didn't learn to read until I was 12, because I just had problems reading. I didn't read it when I was 12. I read it when I think I read some, like, well, it doesn't matter. But I wish they'd read this book to me at school because it's a great book. And he talks about the habits of highly effective people. There's two that I want to touch on with you today, but let's just talk about this one. Begin with the end in mind. So I've never been someone that thinks ahead too much. You say, what are you doing tomorrow? Actually, I'm going to Australia, believe it or not. But you say, what are you doing next week? What are you doing with your life? What are you doing? I've never been. I talk about getting other people to do it, but for me doing it, I've never really done it, you know. I wasn't really practicing what I was preaching until I sit down with Sean. Is Sean in here, by the way? He's probably, I mean, that guy is unreal, man. I've met some people in my life, and that guy is we have an expression in England. It's called different gravy, okay? So he's just different gravy. So when I met him, we hit it off straight away, and we became great friends. And I went over to Orlando, and he started doing some coaching with me. And he was like, where do you want to be in 5 years' time? I was going, hey, man, I don't even want to think about it. You know, you need to think about it. What do you exactly? I'm getting coached by this guy. I'm a coach. He's coaching me. I'm thinking, I know better than you. I'm not doing it. But I really get into it, and I start to realize I don't know where I want to be. And that was a problem. That became a big problem until I actually started to do something about it. But what I want to do, and I know I saw what a lot of you wrote down yesterday, you know, about what's going on, where you want to go. But why don't we crank that up? Why don't we crank it up to a completely different level? Because begin with the end in mind, for me, is, when I first heard that, I thought, what do you mean, like the end of my life? I mean, not that like, begin with the end in mind, like owning my own gym and having 400 people coming in and me making a hell of a lot of money. I thought, what, begin with the end in mind? I mean, the end? I mean, that's the end, right? You know, when you go, just before you go, if you were beginning with that end in mind, I think that would be a really cool thing to do, right? Because we're all going to die, but most of us haven't thought that far ahead, which is okay, you don't have to. But I know that from us going through this today, it's going to make things a lot clearer for you, a lot clearer. But begin with the end in mind. What we really need to do is get this to work. Oh no, because I'm pressing the wrong button. We need to believe with the end in mind. So what that means is, some people say, begin with the end in mind, fine, but they don't really believe it. Seeing is believing, right? Would you not agree? So I don't know how many of you have ever stopped to think about, imagine, actually we'll come back to that in a minute. So who knows who that guy is? He is the coolest dude ever. I have always been fascinated with him. I know it's a stupid game because it's actually an English schoolgirls game. Netball. That's why we play proper games where we come from. It's like baseball. That's also an English schoolgirls game. It's called rounders. And I know some of you in your head are going, hey, man, I don't like this guy. This guy, I liked him, but now he is something irritating me. I'm only joking. But this guy was amazing. I watched him play many, many years ago, and he wasn't very well. And he played, and he got a whole load of points. And I came to study him. I studied everything he did. I read every single book. I just became obsessed because he was, to me, he was the absolute greatest. And there were so many things about him that were great. And for me, one of the greatest things about him was he realized he had some weaknesses. So he wasn't particularly good at defending, he wasn't particularly good at shooting from one side of the basket, and he wasn't a particularly good team player. I mean, him and Dennis Rodman did not get on off the court, but you wouldn't know that. That's brotherhood, by the way. When you play together, you've got someone's back. He worked on his weaknesses, and he made them his strength. I admire anyone that does that. And if you don't acknowledge your weaknesses, and that's what you should all write down today, what are my weaknesses? But it's okay to have weaknesses. Your weaknesses might be that you're insecure, I don't know what it is, but we've all got weaknesses. And if you don't do something about those, you're going to have a problem. Because weaknesses tend to manifest, right? One of your weaknesses is that you talk down to yourself. One of your weaknesses is that you get distracted. It's okay. You should laugh at that stuff. Because if you were perfect, life would be really boring, right? You'd have nothing to do. You've got stuff to work on, right? You've got stuff you can do. You can be better. You can achieve more. But it's only through addressing that. Does anyone know who this is? No one. One person in the room knows who that is. This is Mr. Holton Buggs. You should check out Cash Cow. You can listen to it on YouTube. This man earned $16.5 million last year. He's a drug dealer, just like me. I am a drug dealer, but the drugs are legal. And I went to a thing that I went to a seminar that he gave in Houston, and he said a couple of things which have stayed with me to this day. One of them was, What's normal? We left a big pause, and I was going, well, what's normal? Normal is what's been taught to you, right? Normal to you is normal, isn't it? Yes? And you're around loads of people that have a normal. And you want to change their normal, but you've got to change yours. The thing about human beings is we don't like letting go. We don't like letting go of what we know because it's normal. And we feel safe with what's normal. It's certain. So what you have to do in life, if you want life to be bigger, is you have to believe bigger and believe faster. And that's what he said. And I didn't get that at the beginning. I thought, what does he mean, believe bigger, believe faster? You need to believe, and you need to start acting like your business is already kicking it. You need to take that energy with you wherever you go. You need to act like it's already happened. Now, this morning, I had a very interesting experience. Is Blake in the room? No, well, you don't even know who Blake is, right? But I'll talk like that because that's how he talks, right? Because I'm a drug dealer. So I'm going downstairs this morning. I'm speaking with an Australian accent, okay? It's not bad, is it? All right, here you going. So I'm down there going to the gym, and there's this like $40,000 bicycle. So I look at it, and there are two girls. Who are the ladies that were in Starbucks this morning? And I said, is that your bike? Yeah, it wasn't your bike. I said, whose bike's that? And, Blake, this guy comes along. I said, is that your bike? It was pretty obvious because he was dressed in Lycra. And he's got a coffee in his hand, and I've got one sachet of the coffee that many of you have seen outside that I've got. How many of you drink coffee? Why? I mean, you're health and fitness professionals, guys. You need to, well, actually, let's not go into that too much, but all pH activity in the body, all hormone activity in the body is pH dependent. Coffee is acidic. People drink it, it's not that bad. Most Americans would be dead if they didn't drink coffee because of the antioxidants in it. But he's a cyclist, and I know the difference that this makes to athletes because we've been getting athletes to take it. Anyway, I start talking to him, and his story is unfrigging believable. I mean, you couldn't make this story up. 33 months ago, he started taking up triathlon. He was fat. He was doing things maybe he shouldn't have done. He went away, not to prison or anything like that. He just came back, and he was with his friends, and his friends had taken up triathlon. So he thought, I'm going to do that. Australians are a bit like that, you know. They're just like, well, hey, let's go and do that. So in 33 months, he has become in the top 1%. The top 1% in triathlon. Why? Because he decided to do it. He probably told himself in his head, I'm going to do it. He believed bigger, he believed faster, and he got on with it. A lot of you are waiting for things to happen for you to start believing that things are going to be great. That's a recipe for going nowhere. You have to believe bigger. You have to believe faster. If you don't do that, you can all do that, right? How many of you like acting? How many of you used to pretend you were someone else? How many of you have ever pretended that you were Michael Jordan? Yeah, of course. How many used to pretend that you were someone else? You can pretend that you are extremely successful. And anyway, you are. Look what you've achieved. You know, I look at people, and I've been talking to lots of you, and I see that a lot of you are getting too distracted. I was talking to someone this morning. Where was that gentleman I was talking to? From Honduras. Where are you? You're right. So you know the score, man. You just got to stop that distraction. That's the difference between us and our forefathers. Our forefathers didn't have email, Facebook. They didn't have that stuff. They didn't have television. So it was much easier for them to be focused. Men are very good at focusing on one thing to the exclusion of everything else because that's how we survived. We survived by hunting, right? Women had to be much better at focusing on a number of different things at one time because that's what they needed to do to survive. But for us, men, stop it, guys. You need to make a choice to stick to something and follow it through to the end. How many of you are up for doing that? How many of you are going to, thank you. Okay, well, let's see. How many of you, I'm going to get some smacks in the face, right? Yeah? Don't you think? I'm going to be bruised. I don't care. I'll take it. I will take the hit and keep moving forwards. Yeah? I will. I will take that hit for you because you know what? I probably care for you more than you care for yourself. I do. Why? Because I'm a bit stupid. But that's okay. So how? How do you begin with the end in mind? You have to know what your life's purpose is. You have to know what you're here to do. Not just here, being here. Being on this earth. What are you here to do? Now, some people tell me what they're here to do, I listen, but I don't feel that they really believe what they're saying. So let me tell you how my purpose in life changed. Because I came across a nightmare a few years ago. Because, things happen. So this is my wife, man. Can you believe it? I know you're thinking, how did you do that? How'd that happen? I have no idea. Actually, it happened in Croatia. Well, I was speaking at an event, and I wasn't even that keen on her, to be honest. I was never into commitment. I'd work with you, but I'd go home afterwards. I was one of my biggest weaknesses. I don't want people to get too close to me. But something happened. I'd been with my girlfriend for a year, and she had a massive seizure in the middle of the night, a huge epileptic fit, a grand mal seizure like this. And I wanted to run away. It was in my parents' house. I ran downstairs, "Mummy, Mummy, Mummy," because I didn't know what I did. My mum could get in the Great Britain worrying team. If she knew this was going to happen, she'd be worrying for weeks. But she's also a warrior. She's not just a warrior. My mum is a warrior. I mean, you have no idea. My mum has taught me so much. Never give up. There's always an answer to everything. My mum and dad have always told me that. Always an answer to everything. And people pay me a lot of money to help them find answers for things. So she's having this big seizure. I don't know what to do. I want to run away. My mum comes upstairs, and I see a side of my mum that I haven't seen before. My mum is cool. My mum is calm. My mum is collective. I'm seeing my real mum. Not this worry and fear and doubt. That's not you. That's bullshit. Pardon my French. It's rubbish. That's not you. Stop it. Get out of your own way. But I'm going to show you how to do that. It's so simple, you won't do it. It's too simple. She's diagnosed with a very aggressive brain tumor. She's given 18 months to live. Now, what would you do if you found yourself in that position? Bear in mind who I am. I'm a guy who believes there's an answer to everything, right? So I go on Google, because Google's the answer to everything, isn't it? Can I just give you one bit of advice? Don't believe everything you read on Google. Don't believe the hype. I remember listening to that in Public Enemy in 1980, Don't Believe the Hype. And I just remember, what is the hype? And then I started to realize, just don't believe what everyone's telling you, because it's not necessarily true. But you can believe what everyone else says. So if I believe what everyone said, she'd probably be dead. She had surgery, she had radiotherapy, the tumor came back quick. So I asked people, and this is the other thing, guys, you've got to ask for help. You heard what Sean said yesterday. I've known Sean for a long time. Well, not that long, but he's opened up to me a few times. I've opened up to him, and what he said yesterday, I just couldn't believe what he was saying, because he opened up. He wants to share his story with you, because his story is what makes you. But you can be broken by what's happened, or what's happened to you can make you. So I spoke to a friend of mine, and he gave me some amazing advice. He said, he was cool, he was calm. He said, find people that are still alive in the world and find out what they did. That was a great bit of advice, don't you think? Because I just could have believed what the oncologist said, and she's going to die, and that's not me, man. You saw the real me. My purpose in life was very, very, very clear. She's not going to die, and I'm going to help her live. And there was nothing that anyone could do to stop me. Yeah, I was frightened. Yes, I was uncertain, but my purpose was still clear enough that that certainty wouldn't last very long. Just imagine if you had that same certainty and same purpose about what you're doing. You see, the thing about Halton Bugs that he said, and you need to think about this, all of you need to think about this. You have to think about this. How much did it cost you to come here? How much? 1,000? Yeah? How much? Who spent it cost them more than 1,000 to be here? Yeah? How much? How much? 1,800. Is that a lot of money? I don't know. Is it? Yeah, it sounds like it. But that's not enough. Because you can live with losing that. You can live with it. See, Halton Bugs, one of the things he said to me, he said when he got into the business of this coffee business, he signed up. It cost him, I don't know, £1,000, $1,000. He told himself, this cost $1 million. This cost me $1 million. Now, what would happen if this today, whether you're platinum, VIP, whatever you are, it cost you $1 million? And then I went home and observed your first week in activity after the fact that this cost you $1 million. I would love also you to smack me in the face next year because you went home and you told yourself, you conditioned yourself that this cost you $1 million. Does that make sense? Now, Halton Bugs, there's a reason why he earned $16.5 million last year. And that's how it all started. You know, there's clues with everyone. There's always a clue. There's always a way, but you have to think outside the box. You have to look at things differently. So I found a few people that were still alive. I asked them what they did, and they kept mentioning this guy's name, Dr. Stanislav Buzinski in Houston, Texas. Then I did some research on him, and if I believed everything I'd heard about him, we wouldn't have gone. Doctors said, don't go there. The guy's a charlatan. He's a fraud. He'll die. It costs $500,000. I mean, I sold a business in 2003 for $4 million. But I didn't understand money, so I just spent it. I gave it all away because I wasn't trained in business. I wish NPE had been around in 1992. I would have made some better decisions. I was 30 and I made $4.4 million. I didn't have any of that left because I just spent it. So when this treatment was $500,000, I had to sell everything to go to Houston for her to have this treatment. And the treatment started working straight away. And we were in this clinic in Houston, and this little kid comes in, he's 8 years old, he's got a glioblastoma, it's a serious brain tumor. And his parents say, we've just gone to see Dr. Rakowski. Rakowski, I thought, Rakowski, I know that name. I couldn't work out where, I just thought, I know that name. Then I remembered, oh yeah, I've heard Charles Poliquin and Paul Chek both talk about this guy as probably the best nutritionist in the world. Hannah had had 3 operations to remove precancerous cells from her cervix. She had an environment of cancer. Cancer is like a perfect storm. How does a tornado start? How does a whirlwind start? The conditions have to be right. How do you change the conditions? We all know cancer thrives in a low oxygen, high acid environment, low nutrient. No conventional treatments for cancer address that. Not one. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with chemo, radiotherapy. I'm not saying anything like that. Even though I might think some of that. I wouldn't say it, because you have to be careful. Cancer is a sensitive subject. But cancer doesn't have to be a death sentence. We have to change the environment. We went to go and see him. He is all American, man. Woo! I'll never forget the day we went to go and see him, because Hannah was not in a good way that day. And the most amazing thing about Hannah was I saw what she was like, man. I didn't love her, but I fell in love with her. She had more balls than I did. I don't know. I think I might. I don't know whether I had the strength that she had. She didn't want to die. She was 27, man. I was her sugar daddy. Right? And I love that girl so much because I got to see who she really is. Humor got her through, and Rakowski became a brilliant friend. This guy has had 20 athletes at the London Olympics. He is one of the top nutritionists in the world. And he helped her, and Buzinski helped her, and there you go. There's no cancer there, just a big hole in her head. So, you know, why I want to tell you that is for a few reasons, right? Because, listen, if you had the same purpose about what you were doing, it doesn't matter what would happen. You just keep going. Nothing would stop you, right? Because your purpose is clear. And I want to make a difference, even if it's to one person's life today, that someone leaves here just so clear as to where they're going. You know, because I guarantee if you do that, nothing will stop you. Nothing. Not even, well, that might stop you. But so let's just take a moment to do something. Let's imagine this is me, and it's time for me to go, guys. Cheers. I'm out of here.
Hey everyone, thanks for coming. Brilliant. Thanks for coming to my party. I'm sorry I can't be there, but I'm dead. I'm finished. I'm out of here. But I made this before I died because I just wanted to say a few things. This is my eulogy, so I just wanted to say, hey, thanks for being a part of my life. Thanks for being there. I don't know why I'm talking in an American accent, but anyway, I just want to say thank you so much for being a part of my life. All of you really, really, really helped me live the life that I wanted to. And boy, did I live a life. I tell you what, there wasn't a day that didn't go by where I didn't have a smile on my face, or go out there looking to make a difference to someone's life. And I'm so thankful to all of you because you all supported me. But you know what? My final words to all of you is you need to get yourself a purpose. You know, I was unhappy for a lot of time because I was trying to make everyone else happy, which was fair enough, but there was something missing. I wasn't living my life's purpose. And I ask all of you now, as you've come to my farewell party, it's not to be sad, but just take a moment to think about what am I here to do? Now, of course, your purpose could be different from someone else's, and your purpose might change from day to day. But if you want to be, an unhappy life is a life that doesn't have any purpose. So it's important always, I'm telling you this, you know this, everyone, I'm sure, in life is to set yourself goals and look to achieve things. But if you look to the end game, begin with the end in mind, that's talking about the end of your life, is to think about what you want the legacy of your life to have been. So if you look at the word life, my favorite word, my friends, is even as I'm not even here anymore, I'm still delivering another session of inspiration and motivation. I just can't help myself. Why? Because that was my purpose, guys. It was to touch as many people's lives in as many people's lives as I possibly could. So look at the word life. There's a big clue in it. Life. Put a big cross through the I and the F. No more ifs. Because when you have a purpose, there is no if. The legacy of your life, if you take the L and the E that's left in the word, the legacy of your life is that when you exit your life, you loved it. You see, guys, my purpose, as I said, is to touch as many people's lives as I possibly can in a positive way. That doesn't have to be your purpose, but do not leave this event today without being clearer as to what you're here to do. That will make every day, every week, and every month that much more fulfilling. And excuse me, you over there, stop picking your nose. I can see you. Guys, thanks for coming to my final farewell. Well, I wish you well. Live with passion and live with purpose. Goodbye. I don't know why I'm singing the theme tune from Star Wars, but I don't know. Anyway, goodbye. I love you all.
I had fun doing that because I just wanted to do things a little bit differently. I'm always trying to reinvent myself, but this is, again, the guy that gave me the advice about find people that are still alive. This is one of the things he said to me. No more ifs, guys. Forget if. Just make the legacy of your life that when you exit your life, the legacy was when you ended, you loved it. It's as simple as that, right? So what are you here to do? What are you here to do? I've told you, I'm here to touch as many people's lives in a positive way. If I never ever see you again, I mean, I'd love to get to know all of you, but that's not going to be possible this time, but maybe next year it will be, because I'll be back. There's no question about that. I love this. I love MPE. I wish it went on for a week. But you know why I'm here, right? I care for you. I want you to have a great life. I want to be a part of your life. I want you to take me with you wherever you went. So the other day when we're having this dinner with everyone sitting around this table, and it's just one of the best experiences of my entire life, as this is. I will take this experience with me. I will take it to Australia. I will kick some bottom in Australia with NPE. I will take the experience of meeting you, and I will enrich other people's lives. You can't stop me. You've given me that. You gave me your time. You spoke to me. I listened to you. There was an exchange. That's the other one of the 7 habits of highly effective people is seek first to understand. Don't be understood. Because men are so insecure. The guys will be together and you go, I've been to France. Oh, I've been there. I've been there. My dad's better than your dad. Rather than seek first to understand. Recognize the greatest gift that you have to anyone in your life is just to be there for them. Just to give them your space. Does your space make a difference? If you don't believe me, get really, really angry, and go and hang out with some other angry people and see what happens. You'll probably get even more angry. The way you feel makes a difference. How do you change the way you feel? Change the way you think. Change the way you talk to yourself. Does that make sense? So what are you here to do, guys? What are you here to do? Because someone said to me, I'm here to serve God. I thought, okay, well, what does that mean? By the way, does anyone know where how are you comes from? How are you? Because it's very biblical. It means how are you with God? And to me, what that means is how are you with yourself? How are you with yourself? You see, this is where you live. You live in here. This is where you live. We've got to make this place a better place. How? We'll look at that in a minute. So what are you here to do, guys? Tell me, what are you here to do? What's your purpose of being on earth? Can someone tell me, please? Can I get a microphone? so I can do some rapping. To learn. Can I get a microphone? To learn. To learn what? Thank you. Okay, come on, someone tell me. What are you here to do? Brian, I know you know what you're here to do. Hello? Hello? Oh, hi, Brian. How are you? What are you here to do, Brian?
Well, I want to impact the world. I think I have a skill set and a tool that I can't define right now, but I know I can help a lot of people. And through my life experiences, I think it's trying to hone in and being able to share that with, of course, my clients and members, but I wanted this to be something I could take to the world.
Cool, man. Thank you. That's really powerful, right? He wants to impact the world, and he knows that he's actually doing that right now in his own little way. Anyone else, what are you here to do? Yep. What's your name? Where do you come from? Okay, woo!
My name is Vincent, and I'm from California.
Yeah.
My life's purpose is to lead and inspire others to live an emotionally and healthy lifestyle.
Cool. So are you doing that?
Yes.
Yeah. Do you doubt yourself at all? Stop it. I mean, seriously, stop it. How do you stop it? I'm going to tell you. It's so simple, you probably won't do it. Did you put your hand up, or did someone else? Yep. What are you here to do? Party! Sorry.
I'm here to help people to achieve self-confidence and a better self-image. Right now, my vehicle is fitness, and I know that I have more skills that I can access to help them. I just don't know how to get to them yet.
Okay. I'm going to show you how to do that. Because you want to help people feel more confident? My God, if you want to help people feel more confident, you got to start feeling more confident. I'm not saying you don't, but I'm going to show you how to take it to a different level. How much time do I have left? 13 minutes and 46 seconds? Anyone else? Just a few more. Yeah, what is it?
To serve and for me to serve and to serve others to be Christ-like.
Okay, cool. So that's what you take to everyone that you meet, yeah? So that's a pretty powerful thing to do, right? I really encourage you, by the end of the day, to be much clearer as to what you're here to do. Because if you start seeing people as an instrument to help you make money, that's quite challenging, right? And I think a lot of people kind of get caught up in that. As health and fitness professionals, we need to love people, we need to care for people, we need to listen to people. How do you listen? Shut up. Shut up inside your head, right? How do you do that? So what I'm going to say to you now is it's so profound. Who here's got a mind? Just put your hand up if you've got a mind. Okay. Everyone got a mind? What does your mind do? What's the purpose of a mind? By the way, if you ask people where their mind is, point to your mind. Point to it. I know some of you are pointing at your trousers. But you see, the reason I said that is because I could feel what someone was thinking. Isn't that weird? I knew there's a few in you go, I know what my mind is. But actually, some people go here. We don't really know where the mind is. In fact, many Japanese people will go, they'll do this, point to your mind. It's as if the mind is here. It's a connection to something else. But we've all got one, right? So what does your mind do? Well, for me, I think the mind is a channel. It's an amazing channel. And if you put your mind somewhere, you can do great things, right? The mind can create things, can't it? How many things in your life have you created? How many? Loads. You've created it. But what else does your mind do? It creates rubbish. It creates fear, worry, doubt. You have to be so careful with your mind of where you choose to put it. Because the mind is a channel. If you're not careful, your mind will do one of the things it's... Anyone here ever played that stupid game before? It's called golf. Put your hand up if you've ever played golf. What a stupid game. I mean, I love it. I was completely hooked, right? But often I'll be standing here, and there'll be people behind me on the first tee, and I'll be going, oh, God, they're all looking at me. And I'll be going, I don't want to go over there because I went there last time, and that's out of bounds. I want to go over here, but oh, my God, I just hit this. I just hope it's going to go, oh, it's going over there. Why? Because my mind is doing something. Have you ever been walking down the street and you think someone's behind you and there's no one there? Have you been at home and your partners or your kids have been out and you've been over and over and over and over and over and over stuff inside your head? Yeah? There was a song in the 90s they were called, I can't remember the name of the group, but the song was called Illusion. Never let your feelings get you down. Open up your eyes and look around. It's just an illusion. Da, da. Anyone know that song? You just got to open up your eyes and realize most of what we're creating is an illusion. You know, as Was it Einstein said, reality doesn't exist in the outside world, it exists in here, right? That's the reality that you're creating. Your mind plays tricks on you. How many tricks has your mind already played on you this morning? Thinking things. How do you conquer your mind? It's so simple you won't do it. But some of you will, and you'll smack me in the face next year and go, I did it. How did you do it? You've got to find humor in what you think. If you can't find humor in what you're thinking, you are victimized by what you're thinking. Have you ever laughed at yourself and gone, ha ha ha, ha, I am ridiculous? The stuff that goes on in here. I dare you to start doing that. Just burst out loud. You could be in a conversation with someone and realize that you're not listening to them because you're thinking about something else and go, ha 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 ha. Sorry. You could be lying in bed. You want to go to sleep. You can't because your mind's working overtime. Why? Because your mind's playing a trick on you. So the next time you're doing that and you're going over and over, just go, sorry. If you're with someone else. If you can't find humor in what you're thinking, if you can't see the lighter side of yourself, you're a victim. And let's face it, we live in a world where most of us are being victimized enough as it is to live and thrive and survive and pay our taxes and be successful. It's difficult enough, isn't it? You want to make it doubly difficult? How many of you are up for the challenge to start laughing your head off at what you think? Because I'd love to see what happens. You just say, that's what I'm going to start doing. It's going to probably be one of the biggest challenges you ever face in your life because you start realizing, oh my God, I don't have to think a lot of nonsense. But then you can go, sorry. Yeah, you've got to say that. But, I remember working with a lady years ago. She was from LA, and she was really overweight. And she said, give me a strategy. I need a strategy. People love strategy, right? So I was going, okay, I'll give you a strategy. The next time you find yourself overeating, say inside your head, you fat pig. I mean, I know that was a bit extreme, but she took this to the next level. I said inside your head. She didn't understand what I'm saying. She's in a restaurant, and she's like, you fat pig. Sorry. That's another thing us English people like to do. Sorry, so sorry, sorry, sorry. My food, it's not warm. Sorry, I'm here. Sorry, I'm breathing. See, I know this. I've traveled around the world. You listen, you observe, you pick things up. You have got to get in contact with your purpose. Your purpose might change. My purpose changed, right? With Hannah, but now Hannah's alive and she's given me this life. She gave me an opportunity. She never, and by the way, who's got my phone, please? You got my phone. Can you come up here, please? I promise you this, guys. I promise, no, I'm not phoning her. But please, can you turn the lights up, please? If it wasn't for her, I wouldn't be here today. I don't mean alive. You can put the camera on. Because it was through her having cancer that I'm here today. Are we on? Yes, we're on?
Oh, yeah, it's not focused.
Okay. It's probably my nose.
There you go.
Hi, darling. It's me here. I just wanted to say something. Actually, I don't want to say anything, but I've got a few people here that want to say a big thanks to you. Hi, guys. Could you say hi to Hannah? Hi. Oh, come on. Let's do that. That was like we're English. Let's do this like we're American. Can we say hi to Hannah? Hi. Hannah, we love you. Thank you so much. I will see you when I come back from Australia, and you're the best thing that ever happened to me. You married me. Look what you did to me. I got a ring on my finger. Love you. Thank you. That's kind of cool, right? Because you'll see that. See, the legacy of her having cancer is my relationship with you. That's it. I don't care where it goes. That is a living legacy. That makes when I talk about my life's purpose, it's not just about impacting your life. It's making a difference from something that was so bad and making it something amazing. So, I'm in this coffee business, and Hutt, who is one of the most successful people in MPE, when I spoke to him I wasn't even speaking to him, I was spoken to Keith. I'm in business with him now, right? That's the legacy of Hannah. What happens to us in life can make us even better. So the next time things don't happen the way that you want to, see, the greatest quality in human beings, I've got 6 minutes left. What's the greatest quality in a human being? What do you love? What do you love about, what qualities do you look for in a human being? Innovation? Resilience, what qualities do you like? Ambition. It doesn't have to be one, it could be loads. Love, kindness, honesty, listening. That's why marriage doesn't work. You know marriage doesn't work as an institution. If I said put all your money in marriage, you'd go, what? I'll go and check that one out. Go on Google, you find that 50% of marriages end in divorce. Why? Because men don't listen to women. Men don't understand that women make sense of the world by vocalizing what they see, hear, and feel as a generalization, but actually that's true. So men, do yourself a favor, shut up, and do this. The next time you're talking to your girlfriend or your wife or your client, especially your wife, go, put a chair, turn it around this way. Hi, darling, how was your day? And shut up. And if they start talking about a problem, don't go, hey, I got to fix this. Because inside their head, they're going to go, hey, you're not listening. Guys, if you want your clients to love you and appreciate you more, listen to them. And don't forget this either. Your clients are a ticket to more clients. I mean, it's so obvious. You know, if I asked you to leave the room and come back in, you'd go back into the seat you were in before. You just do that. Why? Because that's where you're comfortable. You've got to challenge yourself every single day to get out of your comfort zone. As Billy Beck said, and I carry this with me, he has no idea how many lives he's affected just by him talking to me and this whole thing of, you know, your comfort zone. What is your comfort zone? Well, whatever it is, it's not real, but let's pretend it was real. Get out of that, because nothing happens there. This is where the fun is, right? Woo! That's why you've got to go up to people, talk to people, do things every day that challenge you. That's how you can get stronger. That's how you can achieve more and do more. It's getting out of your comfort zone. But it's so easy to get comfortable. And why is it easy to get comfortable? Because we all have habits. Why do we have habits? Has anyone here ever built a fire? Anyone built a fire before? Without any flames? You just gone with some wood? Nothing else? Was it easy? No chance. Did you give up? Did cavemen give up and go, God, this is too tough. I'm not doing this. Why? Because we'd be dead. They had to do it. Why? To keep warm, to eat. Why did they learn that habit? To forget that habit and then learn something else to survive. So whenever you try and break a habit of worrying, giving yourself self-doubt, your brain takes you to where you've been before. Hey, Brian, how are you? Why are you shaking my hand? That's a habit. We all have habits, and your brain doesn't know the difference between a habit that's good and bad. You do what you've always done. And if you always do what you've always done, you'll always get what you've always got. So you've got a great day ahead of you, and the day is going to be finishing with you having a session with Billy, and again, I'm sure that will reinforce a lot of what we've done. I want you to have a better life. I want you to achieve more and be more. I know you can do it. How are you going to do it? Shut the duck up and go, ha, 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 ha. Sorry. This is how you have more meaning and significance in your life. This is Richard Branson. Some of you know. If someone offers you an opportunity, just take it. Work out how to do it afterwards. Has anyone got one of these still? Some people have. They don't need it anymore. We've got to change our ways. You're in the business of people. Be there for people. Know that understanding people can help them. This is what you should be doing for your teams. This is what you should be doing for everyone. The emotional equivalent to air is being understood. Understand people. What's this? What sort of mushroom is it? No. This is Ganoderma. This is there's 1,800 peer-reviewed studies on this. It's the most powerful, as Americans call it, a herb. It's not a herb, it's a mushroom. This is what is in this coffee. This is why I can talk to you the way that I do without getting hyper. Coffee is acidic. This has a pH of 7. All hormone activity in the body is pH dependent. So you want to drink coffee? You're going to have a problem long term. I would really encourage you to change your coffee. These are two of the original emperors in China. What are they doing? They're holding Ganoderma. Why? It was the most prized possession. If you were caught with it and you weren't in the royal family, they'd chop your hand off. If you were caught with it a second time, they'd chop your head off. If you were caught with it the third time, no, it didn't happen. You'd be dead. This is Manny Pacquiao. He drinks the coffee. Why? Because it makes a difference. I would really encourage you to change your coffee, guys. If you want to come and talk to myself or Barney, where's Barney? Stand up, Barney. Hey, Barney. Hey, Barney. This could be something that you start drinking yourself, some of these products, but also we could show you how you get more clients this way. Because selling fitness can be quite difficult. How did I meet that guy this morning? I went up to him for coffee. And I might know him for the rest of my life. Blake, are you in here? No, he said he was going for a 4-hour cycle ride, but he's going to be here this afternoon. So, guys, miracles happen, right? I'm a lucky guy, right? I got married 7, 8 weeks ago, and life is just incredible right now, and that's because of you. That's because you are in my life. I would pay to do this. I would pay to come up here and talk to you. That's what I'm here to do. What are you here to do? Get in touch with that today and share it with some other people. Don't keep that stuff to yourself. The more you talk about it, the more you think about it, the more it will grow. The more you water it, it can change. So who's going to smack me in the face? Not because I've annoyed you. Hang on, calm down. Not because I've annoyed you, but because I've challenged you. You see, the greatest quality in a human being, I've got 6 seconds, it's what have you got inside you to deal with something that's difficult? What have you got? You've all got it. It's called the spirit of you. It's called the essence of you, the soul of you. That's what you need to get in contact with. When you're around people like Joe or Billy or people that have achieved more than perhaps what you've achieved, that's because they've got in touch with the part of them that is, no excuses, this is what I'm doing, get out of my way. You can come with me if you want, but let's go for it. I thank you from the bottom of my heart. You're all going to get a copy of Shut the Duck Up for free. If you want to get a copy of Life DIY, I don't know, I maybe have 30 copies of that here. It's $20. If you want it, then please, it's cash. We haven't got any change, apparently. I'd love to hear from you. My email address is, I've got cards. My email address is just Pete, P-E-T-E, at P-E-T-E, Cohen.com. Please email me if you have any questions or you want to know any more information. I love you guys from the bottom of my heart. Let's go for it tonight and get absolutely no. I must thank one last thing. Where's Felix? Felix, where are you? Felix? Where is he? He's recovering. I saw pictures of him, but he made my dream come true. He took me to a club the other night, and at 2 o'clock in the morning, I met my hero, Super Mario. I've got a picture of me in a club with this thing around my head going, with Super Mario behind me going like that. So thanks, Felix. I'm not happy he's not here, but anyway, he's probably recovering. Thank you so much, guys. You're great. I love you all. Thank you.